Hello, hello, beautiful, magnificent women of the world. Welcome, welcome to my show, Your Radiant Life after 55. I have grown. It started with 45. Now it's 55. I imagine there will come a time when it will be 65 because you are growing with me, and I am already in my past my mid 70s. So anyway, this show, my name is Dr. Angelika Christie, and I am your host. And I welcome you because on my show, we are speaking about everything that is important to a middle-aged woman. Actually, when younger women listen to my show, they will learn so much too, because this is what I share here and what the guests that I invite to my show and interview, what they share is knowledge that sometimes has been hidden or not is not very well known, but it is mostly a combination of tremendous experience and also studies and learning. For example, I myself, I am an eternal student. Learning really never stops. And sometimes, and some of you may feel that too, sometimes we have such an appetite for learning that we learn and learn and learn, but it also needs to settle down and be, so to speak, digested properly so that we can apply it. Because what you learn and you don't, even if you take notes, but if you don't really assimilate it, digest it and assimilate it, just like your physical body assimilates and digests nutrition in order to turn it into energy, to turn it into new cell growth, healthy cell growth, and a stronger immune system. All of these things that go on without us really knowing about it. The body knows what to do with it. But we do have, our mind is a little bit outside of this. Our mind is bombarded in our time today with so much. And it's not only absorbing and active when we want it, but it automatically brings into some kind of even unconscious awareness, whatever is going on. And you know that we are bombarded by things that are in our pocket or in our handbag, or on our desks, on the TV screens. And even if we don't read newspapers so much anymore, but it is everywhere. It used to be just the written news, then it was the audible news on the radios, and now it's a combination of all of them, a constant bombardment with intelligence, with artificial intelligence that immediately ciphers out what you are interested in, and it gives you more and more of the same, which of course is then also not the real, what we really need, because then we only get information in the area that we already like, without seeing the other side. And that brings me a little bit to today's theme, which is really, how do we break habits that we don't want anymore? And very often, there are habits that we are even unaware of. I have a course that takes 28 days, which is really the moon cycle, and we women know about this. Our cycles, our reproductive cycles, our menstruation cycles, and all of this is very much according to the moon cycle. So it's not so much the calendar, but it's the true cycle. And there are so many other cycles in life. But so this course that I have been teaching for years, and I'm just bringing it back again because it becomes so especially relevant today again, is 28 days to freedom from old habits. It's there are 28 days where you don't need to know already what you want to change, because sometimes the most difficult thing is to become really clear about what it is that you actually want. And then we are unsure, and then we waver, and then the information that we send out, because we are radio stations, right? You know that we receive and we send out our frequencies, our energies in way of thoughts and feelings. You know, even that which is not apparent outside has an effect on your environment. And what has an effect on your environment goes out into the ether, it goes out into the cosmos. It actually is real. So it is really important to become more and more aware of not only who you are, but what is it that you think? What is it that you consciously allow to be put into your brain? And the brain is not only inside of your skull, it is actually outside, all around you, because thoughts and feelings are really, you cannot find them physically in your brain, even though there are certain areas that work with it. But it's so much bigger, so much bigger. So it is really something that is in you, in your energy field. It's in your extended and greater and more evolved being. And so you are constantly communicating, and you are also constantly receiving. We all are, all the time. And it has certain impacts. Of course, we all came to this earth in way of being a fetus in our mother's womb. And we already got ancestral markings and impressions, even long before we were born. And then we're part of our mother's experience, her thoughts, her feelings, her experiences, not just what she ate, but also what she thought and how she felt. All of that was transmitted into this starting little you and me and everybody else on our planet. And the history is also part of us. So we have our personal, ancestral, and personal blueprint, so to speak. But then we are also part of a larger body, which is the cosmos and the humanity as a whole, that is in such disarray today, right? You probably have been on this planet many, many, many times before, and my apology if you do not believe in this. I do, and majority of the people I know also, even if they have not believed it at some time, but it makes perfect sense, right? Why would you want to, why would every lifetime be an opportunity to evolve, to bring yourself into a higher awareness of love? Because these are really the things that we are here to learn: compassion, understanding, our capacity to love ourselves, to find out who we truly are, and to love others, to build community, to collaborate, to evolve. And so we are at that pivotal not pivotal moment in history again. And that's why you are here. That's why we are here together. And if you care about humanity and about what is happening in the world, and you care about justice and freedom and prosperity and all of that, that is so fundamentally natural to who we are, and our right and our fundamental heritage from the one creator that created everything, Mother, Father, Creator, God, who created everything that exists. And that includes you and me. So this is really the greatest discovery, the discovery of who are you? Why are you here at this pivotal time in history? And I am quite sure that apart from maybe your personal issues that as a soul you have thought about and decided to incarnate in a certain body. Obviously, you are a woman if you listen to me on this channel. If we have a few men, so but mostly women. This is win-win women, right? Then you also understand that something that all of women have gone through in history and are going through at this time. But even beyond that, we are, I truly believe, and I have stated this for more than almost 2 decades now, that I believe that women are the pillars of a new consciousness and must step forward, because we are the change makers. We are the ones who the world has been waiting for. We have been waiting for ourselves for this time to create the change that we want to see in the world. And change is happening. I mean, all of us feel it. We feel it inside of us. We see it outside of us. World, the earth, Gaia, is in upheaval. Because I believe not just the patriarchal, the male forces that have created a society of, the fittest always wins. And that the more you can create for yourself, no matter what it does to your neighbor or to the whole, you are always seen as the one who is winning. But we have taken so much from those who are much more humble, who have always been humble, who are more of the givers than the takers. And like Gaia, our beautiful Mother Earth, and I think she's always looked at as in a female and in a feminine view, because she provides for us, she nurtures us, she feeds us, she gives us the home. Of course, you can say that's a male attribute as well, but the mother is more of the nurturer, right? And I believe if it would be male, it would have shut us out and off probably long time ago, because males can only, or the male energy, usually, nothing is set in stone, usually can only take so much until he leashes out or says, this is it, finish with that, and kills you, pushes you out, creates something that makes it impossible for you to continue. Yet Mother Earth, and it is a female attribute, is ever forgiving, just like we forgive the babes that are bothering us sometimes with their continuous questions, why, or screams or tantrums or cries, or because of all of their needs must be met. And as a mother, you are aligned with that. You hear it and you care for it. Yes? I don't know if you are a mother, but I have 5 children, so I know I know how this is. And so that for me, it's a very familiar attribute. Gaia, our Mother Earth. So, but coming back to what's happening right now, what's happening today, you know that systems have gotten so extreme that they are not sustainable anymore. And we are shifting. But the old God, the old systems, the patriarchal world, the world of greed and money and taking advantage and wars and all of those things that bring so much suffering into our lives, into the world. We think of Eden, of paradise, a world where everything is available, where everything is peaceful. Yes, I mean, for example, when I think about people today, and this is a little bit going off what I wanted to share, but the thought just came into mind because I know when I say that peaceful can include that we feed ourselves even from animals, who graciously and beautifully give their lives in order to feed us. And which means then that I do not believe that you must be vegan in order to honor the earth. I believe actually I had a lifetime, at least one, maybe many, with the First Nation, with the American Indians, maybe even before the continent was called America. And somehow those traditions are very familiar to me. And what it used to be is, they were chasing and killing the buffalo for food, but they did not kill it to store it. They only took from nature what they were needing at the time, and to store for a little bit, but not to store it and sell it, by the millions and make a big profit of it. That was not the case. It was to fulfill a need for their tribe. And so there is a way of doing this, of honoring the beautiful animals that give their life to feed us, to pray over them, to say thank you, whether it's a chicken, a hen, or anything, or a fish, or a cow, or a buffalo, or a sheep, or whatever living creature we take in order to nourish ourselves. This is not an act of cruelty. This is an act of nature and of gratitude and honoring. All right. So I didn't really want to go in this, but I know that some of my listeners may be vegans and totally abhor any slaughtering of any animal for food. So having gotten that out of my system, but what else is going on in the world? There are such clashes, and even all the way reaching into our families, even into loving relationships that are split apart because of this intrusion of ideas that this is good and that is bad, and you should think like this and act like that. Otherwise, this is not, you are bad and I am good. This is horrific. This is nonsense. Everything has consequences. And of course, you can say there is light and there is darkness, but you see, the light would not be seen as light if there wouldn't be darkness. And darkness doesn't mean it's evil. And light is only good. It's a dance. The sun comes out and it's bright light, and then we go in the shade. We go into out of the light into something darker in order to cool down. So there is light and darkness, yes. And then there are things that are evil, yes. And that is against the law of nature. Whatever is against the law of nature, and most of all for us humans, what is against the law of love. Because let me tell you, and you know this, love is the highest frequency there is. Love is who you are. Love is who I am. And when you love, you have compassion. You do not kill. You do not kill somebody out of revenge or for profit. You go when it needs to go. There are wars, yes, and if you have to defend your life or the life of your child, that means you have to kill off the offender, then I do not believe that this is the same kill as if you just shoot somebody because you're angry with him or her. Or, wars are really unnecessary. My father always used to say, and they are unnecessary because now I think about all of the lives that are lost of innocent men, mostly men, but also women, who are sent out to destroy the enemy, even though the enemy, when you bring the two people together, would probably be able to sit down and resolve the issue. But no, there are these leaders in two different fields, and they want certain outcomes. So they send these troops in order to destroy the other. And this is not sustainable. And this is where we are today. And because of the weapons we have today, we are at the brink of a possible extinction. Two ways. We can blow ourselves up because we do not get along with each other. That means, atomic wars, which could trigger the next world war. And then the next thing could be that we just destroy our Earth to a degree, even without totally destroying ourselves, but we may destroy the soil that is there to feed animals and humanity and everything that lives in the air and on the earth and in the earth and in the waters, in the oceans, rivers, lakes. Every creature, every beautiful creation of God. And that includes the trees and the shrubs and the flowers and the bushes and, you know, everything. The world is so abundant with beauty and with so much. It's constantly giving. And we are taking. So when we have learned to not just take, but also give back, then we are on the path of freedom. Then we are on the path of creating the new age, creating the new human. I don't even want to say the future human. Around 2012, when I was a student of Barbara Marx Hubbard's agent of conscious evolution. I studied with her, I went through her course, so I was very aware of the shift that took place in 2012 when we entered a new era, a new era that lasts for, there are circles within circles, 5,000 years, 25,000 years, or 28,000 years, or 21,000 years. Now I'm not with the 20,000s, I'm not 100% sure. But we go in cycles, and we entered a new world era, a new cycle. And the vision for that cycle is that higher frequencies come from our beautiful sun, from the cosmos, to our planet Earth, to everything, not just, the natural world, to us, into our brains, into our bodies, into our awareness. Of course, we are, as I said in the beginning, we are receiving stations. We send out and also receive. So we are upgraded. We are upgraded in our frequency, in our capacity to receive higher frequencies. And that's why what 20 years ago, 15 years ago, were the woo-woo new ages, today we are the way showers, the light workers, I say the crowd, the ground crew, to not only awaken ourselves, but to radiate this out into our direct families, in our communities, and creating bigger and bigger circles. So how did I come to all of this? But I wanted the 28 to freedom from old habits is really something that is wonderful to get into, because I have created the 28 days with very easy step-by-step things to do and experience. Very easy things, only take a few minutes a day. But you experience something that you have not experienced before. So that new experience, when you then repeat it the next day and the next day, and then as we go further into the 28 days, it expands, your awareness expands, your ability to see, to become aware of your old habits, and the awareness of maybe new habits to come in that you want to keep. All of that just is created in an easy flow. You don't have to write down and make any commitments. All you have to do is one commitment, and that one commitment is just do the one thing that I ask you to do every day. So if you want to find out more about this, it's called 28 Days to Freedom from Old Habits. And I will put more information about it in this video below. But why do I say that this would be a beautiful way to start becoming more aware of Where are you right now in this era of shift and change? In your personal life, where are you? What is it that you can improve? And to start it in that very playful and easy way, to do that in the 28 days is will make it so much easier for you to then go into more specific things that you want to change, because you cannot change anything unless you know what is already there and what it's actually doing to you and why you want to change it, right? For example, there is something that so many want to change, and that is judgment, right? Wouldn't it be amazing if we could just be less judgmental? And judgment is not all bad or evil. It is something that um, our ancestors needed, and we need it today as well to see, because it is connected with our original brain, our croc brain, so to speak. Fear in the amygdala and all of this has its place when it comes to survival. But in our world today, with exceptions, of course, we are not struggling for survival that much anymore. Yes, some people do. But if you come to this channel and you listen to me, you may not be in that category. You may be more in that category to actually care for those who struggle. But if you could let go more of judgment, and that is really so important going, being a light in this world going forward, because our world is crumbling. Horrific things have already happened, and they may happen even more. Things from people and by nature. Nature is also, Gaia is also getting rid of a lot of the old by, putting us in harm's way sometimes. But if you see it as a cleansing, and are open for what is that wants to be born, wants to emerge, then you have a different awareness, and you don't judge something right away, but maybe have a little more of curiosity about it, or just observe it and see what you can do in order to, if you find that there are atrocities going on, by all means, speak out about it. But you can do this in many ways. You can do this without getting into an argument or condemning, because what it does, it lowers your frequency. You are going into a very low vibration, and open yourself for more attacks of the same. You see, whoever you are, whatever you are, however your frequency transpires outside, that's what you call in. That's what comes back to you. So when you are maybe unintentionally, but because you have been triggered into a rage or into tremendous judgment, into confrontation, all of these things that that lower your frequency, actually make you sick, because with a lower frequency, your cells cannot do what they need to do, cannot thrive, cannot replicate themselves in the best way. Your immune system goes down. I mean, all kinds of things. Negativity and low frequency makes you physically sick, but it also goes out and attracts more of the same. So if you want to be a peacemaker, a light worker, somebody who brings light and love and compassion and understanding into the world rather than the opposite. I don't even want to say the words now. The opposite of love. It's not just fear. It's so much more. So rest assured that you are a beacon of light. You are made, created in the image of God, the one creator that created everything that exists. So you are powerful beyond your imagination. But that power can be used for good or for something that is against love. Okay? And I don't believe that's what you want. But there is that gray area, right, where we are become hijacked into disbelief, into negativity, into resigning to something, to not to have any hope anymore. All of these things are also draining your light and energy, positive energy. So whenever you feel this, and this is where awareness is so important, whenever you feel this, your thoughts going there, and then immediately one thought triggers an emotion, right? And when that emotion becomes aware, you feel your body collapsing, you feel your energy going down, and it doesn't feel all that great, right? It doesn't feel, like when you are full of laughter and joy and positive attitude, and it's not silly or stupid to be positive and joyful, even when you have something terrible happen, somebody who you cared for died, somebody, rather than being all so down and wallowing in that sadness, you can look upon the freedom of the soul that has released the body for a purpose, and go into what the lifetime that you have experienced with that person, how beautiful this was. And if there was anything that needed healing, then do it right then and there. Send that forgiveness and healing at this moment. So we are so powerful to do because we have free will. Free will means you have the power to elevate yourself and others and the entire world around you and the collective, because you are part of the collective. What you feel and do and say and all of that is not only happening within your physical body and within you, but it is radiating out. It feeds the collective, and the collective, the human, the future human. I say actually the new human, because I believe it's not so much in the future, it's happening right now. The new human needs to be fed with love and compassion and generosity and gentleness and softness and understanding and beauty and warmth. Yeah, all of this. Doesn't this make sense to you? I think it does. Okay, so I didn't have a guest on this show, but I hope that if you see this and you heard me speak about this, I really would love to have some feedback on it. Feedback from you, what you think, what is your contribution to not only become, first of all, yes, it's about you. What is your contribution to yourself? Because love starts with self-love. I call it heroic self-love, because sometimes it's easier to love another than to love ourselves, because we can love somebody else, the loving part of somebody else. But when it comes to ourselves, we cannot separate. We can only love ourselves completely with all of the shadow sides, with everything else. So love starts with self-love. So what is your contribution to yourself, to your self-love? And also the contribution to maybe in your family. What is the one thing you want to improve or become first aware of, and then become more and more aware of, and change it whenever the negative thought or the negative thing happens, and immediately exchanges with a positive thought, which brings a positive feeling and action. It's the thought, it's the feeling, and the action. That is, that is how it works. And so maybe commitment to yourself. In my blueprint of the 7 C's to life success, to success in your relationships, overall success starts with the first C is clarity. So clarity is the same as awareness. Okay, so become clear of what you really want, and become the observer of yourself, of the self that has been running on these programs, on these habits, for so long, because those habits start in our, as babes, when we are very, very small, and those habits form over time, and they become more, just like a tree grows more difficult to uproot when it's a mature, older tree than a sapling, right? You know that. Also, our habits, as we have done them for so long, and we have grown and into a certain age, into your 50s and 60s and 70s and beyond, it is a little more, I say, you need a little bit of kick-ass to become aware of those habits, and to uproot them or replace them with a good habit. But as I said, the first is the awareness. So in my 7 C's, it's clarity. The second one is courage. It is easy to just continue being on that, doing the same thing over and over again. It may not be beneficial for your growth, but it is kind of sitting in an old, comfortable chair, right? It feels comfortable because you have done it for so long. To uproot that, to throw that chair away and get a new chair, that may be a little bit harder, because whenever you change something, change is always unfamiliar. We say hard, but it's actually just something that's unfamiliar. And unfamiliar, we have that, it's a survival instinct, that whatever is not familiar may be dangerous, may not be beneficial. So our immediate reaction to it is, don't do that. So we have to overcome this. And with the 28 days to change, to freedom from old habits, how you can change them, is a playful and easy way of becoming aware of this and doing it. Okay, so it's all you need is really the commitment just to do the little thing that I ask you to do every day. And then after 28 days, you're so used to experiencing yourself differently, that some of these things that I asked you to do you may want to keep on doing those. And it also ignites your creativity to create new things for yourself. Because as we get older, staying curious and doing new things, engaging our body, physical body, with new things to do, maybe new movements, different things. I have a whole treasure chest of those as well, or new ways of thinking that then creates new feelings. and become clear and courageous and committed what you want. And your whole life is going to shift. You become and experience yourself as a new human, as the new human that then creates a new world. We don't need to leave our planet. We don't need to travel to Mars. We have everything that is important right here. We just need to change ourselves, the way we think, what we do, how we act, and especially with each other and our environment. Mother Earth, not to poison her, not to abuse her. And the same is with each other, with our neighbors, with our family, with our humanity, because our family is everybody on earth, everybody on earth. Yes, we have closer family within our, ancestry and our immediate family, but you are the brother and sister of all of humanity, and it affects all of humanity. So with this, I think I'm going to leave you, but please get in contact. I would love to start this conversation and go a little bit deeper into it about what is the new human for you. If you cannot get into a new human, how would you envision the future human? But if the future human feels closer to you, then you can start becoming the new human right now. Yes, right now. All of my love. I adore you. I love you. I cherish you. You are important. I cannot do this by myself. Nobody can. We need to do this together to give birth to a new humankind. And it starts with you. It starts with me. It can only come from the inside out. Bye-bye for now.